In today's video, we discuss Tesla stock. The Tesla stock has a symbol of TSLA. The Tesla company is headquartered in Austin, Texas, and is listed as an auto manufacturer. Tesla is, however, more than an auto manufacturer. The company is heavily involved in battery development and production. Production of solar panels, solar roofs, installation of residential and commercial power grid systems. Tesla also develops software for the operation of its vehicles and its onboard systems. It also produces factories which produce their systems and vehicles. Tesla sells its vehicles primarily in North America, Asia, Australia, and Europe. At the time of this recording, the Tesla stock, which has a symbol of TSLA, is trading for about 286. The Tesla stock has seen meteoric climb since its initial public offering. It is currently over 4,000% up since its IPO. Elon Musk recently said this about Tesla stock and the valuation of its company.
What does it take to make Earth fully self-sustaining from an energy standpoint? And just map it out and say this is what needs to be done. Tesla will try to be as useful as possible in this regard, and hopefully lots of other companies can join in and help accelerate the sustainable energy revolution. With peak inflation behind us, so the inflation question is interesting because we do get a fair bit of insight into where prices of things are going over time. Because when you're making millions of cars, you have to purchase commodities many months in advance of when they're needed. So you need to tell, because it's a very long supply chain with a tremendous amount of inertia, so we sort of have some insight into where prices are headed over time. And the interesting thing that we're seeing now is that most of our commodities, most of the things that go into a Tesla, not all, but I don't know, more than half, the prices are trending down in 6 months from now. Now this could change, obviously, but the trend is down, which suggests that we are past peak inflation. Now, making macroeconomic prognostications is a recipe for disaster, but my guess is that we are past peak inflation, and that we will have a recession. I think it will be a relatively mild recession, sort of, but I'm just guessing here. This is total speculation. But I would guess it's a mild recession for, I don't know, 18 months or something like that. Would be my best guess right now. We don't have fundamental capital misallocations in the U.S. as we have had in the past, like leading up to 2008, where we were building primary housing units at twice the rate of household formation, which obviously doesn't make sense. And there were a lot of companies that were over-levered. The leverage or debt that companies have right now is relatively low. So, yeah, I would say probably mild, moderate recession, maybe 18 months-ish. and I think inflation is going to drop rapidly. That's my guess. I don't know. What do you guys think?
When asked, when will 4680 output match your original yield and velocity, the Tesla CEO had this to say.
Katie, this is not an easy one to answer. We are making a decent number every week, and I think we will be in high volume production by the end of this year. It's always difficult to predict. This is because a lot of new technology. What's the slope of the S-curve on ramp? And except that I'm confident we will get to the high production rate, but it's probably end of this year before we get confidently to a high production rate. But this does not affect our vehicle output. We actually have enough supply from enough battery cell supply from suppliers to make 1.5 million cars this year. So it's not a constraint on output, but it will be important for next year.
Concerning Tesla and autonomous cars, Elon Musk had this to say after being asked a question.
Yeah, so it's interesting to think about an autonomous car because when you drive around, look at how many cars are parked. Like they're just parking lots full of cars everywhere because cars need a driver, and so most of the time they're doing nothing. Typically a passenger car is going to be like 12 hours a week or something like that of usage. Now if it's autonomous, maybe it can get to 50 or 60 hours of usage. Then that's sort of 4 or 5-fold improvement in the utility of a car. But the interesting thing is that the car still costs the same. So in that scenario, at least for some period of time, the effective gross margin on an autonomous car is kind of boggles the mind. So in terms of how the cars will be operated, I mean, I think it would be, you'd have the option of owning a car, using a car just occasionally when you need it, like an auto Uber or something like that. And there would be people, and then an owner of a car could decide that they want to use their car or they want to add or subtract it to the fleet.